What's up, grinders? Welcome to another video with Grind Like Yogs. Today I will be talking about my top 10 goalies in the NHL. And in this list I will not include guys like Robin Leonard, Carter Hart, or Jordan Binnington, just because they had one solid year. Carter Hart will be one of the greatest goalies to play. So will Jordan Binnington, potentially. But I still think there could be that rebound where he doesn't necessarily perform as good as he did this year. But you never know. And Robin Leonard, I think he can build on this season, but like it's still to be seen. Anyways, I have 3 honorable mentions, excluding the guys I just mentioned. So really 6 honorable mentions, and then I have my top 10. So first honorable mention is Matt Murray. I should have probably put my I'll put my Pittsburgh jersey right behind me, just to add on to the thing. But yeah, I've got Matt Murray. And Matt Murray, he's been solid his entire career so far, but like I don't think he's top 10. I think he's just one of those really good goalies. Next, I have Henrik Lundqvist. Henrik Lundqvist isn't the same Henrik Lundqvist that we've seen in the past. Definitely, age is catching up on him, but like I think he's still one of the greater goalies in the league, just maybe not top 10. And last, I have for honorable mentions Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick. He's always been really solid, but the past couple of years he's been kind of injured, so he hasn't played as much. And I think the guys up on this list have really just outplayed him. He's not getting worse by any means, just the guys above him are just outplaying him. Anyways, let's start at number 10 from the Anaheim Ducks. I have John Gibson. John Gibson is, yes, I believe he's an underrated goalie in the NHL, but at the same time, I don't think I would put him in the top 5 or necessarily one of my buddies, not buddies, someone I know is a list, I'd say, has him, I think they have him number 2 or even number 1, someone like that. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put him that high, but I believe he is pretty good. At number 9, I have a former Anaheim Ducks. I have Frederik Andersen of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hence why I have my Maple Leafs jersey here with Reimer. I figured I'd show off the goalie jersey. And yeah, Frederik Andersen. I feel he's the kind of goalie who plays better the more shots he has, kind of like how Curtis Joseph played. And it's kind of funny how they both played for Toronto. They played for Toronto. But yeah, Frederik Andersen is just, I think he's one of the greater goalies in the NHL, and it just keeps getting better year over year. And at number 8 of the Boston Bruins, I have Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask has always been an amazing goalie in my books. I wouldn't necessarily put him in top 5, but really, I guess from number 7, number 10, I guess you can interchange any of these guys. But yeah, this list, before I continue, this list is really hard to make. I had to talk to so many people to give me more insight, like more opinions, and help me really form my opinion, because like I changed this list up so many freaking times. It's hard to really define the best goalie in the NHL. But yeah, at number 8 I have Tuukka Rask, and at number 7 over Washington Capitals I have Braden Holtby. In 2015, I think it was, he won the Vezina, and he hasn't necessarily been the exact same since. He's still good, but he's kind of more inconsistent than he was at that point. I feel he's taken a step back, but he's still really good. Number 6 of the Nashville Predators, I have Pekka Rinne. Pekka Rinne, I believe, has always been one of the more underrated goalies until the past. I mean, before the Nashville Predators made the Stanley Cup Finals a couple of years ago against the Pittsburgh Penguins, I feel that Pekka Rinne has always been underrated. And I think he's finally starting to get the recognition he deserves as he won the Vezina a couple years ago. And at number 5 of the Dallas Stars, I have Ben Bishop. Some other people might think that Tuukka Rask or Freddie Anderson are above Ben Bishop, but I feel that Ben Bishop has been more consistent longer, really. I don't have a bunch of older guys at the top 5 or whatever, but I think that Ben Bishop has proven himself to be better than a bunch of these other names. And in a couple of years, things will change. At number 4 of the Vegas Golden Knights, I have Marc-Andre Fleury. I decided to wear this because he's easily my favorite goaltender in the NHL right now, and probably one of my favorite of all time. And I'm not going to say he's being overrated, because he's not. He's been really good with Vegas. He's been really good with Pittsburgh. But for a while, I feel like Marc-Andre Fleury was regarded as maybe as a playoff bust, I guess. Someone who doesn't play nearly as good in the playoffs. But he's really stepped up his game in the past couple of years, and really being the starting goalie of a new NHL team really brings attention towards you. hence the Golden Knights. And yeah, at number 3 of the Tampa Bay Lightning, I have Andrei Vasilevskiy. Andrei Vasilevskiy has been solid for his two or 3 years he's been starter in Tampa Bay. He's just been amazing. He's been one of the greater goalies in the NHL, but I wouldn't necessarily put him up in front of the next 2 guys I have on my list. Maybe next year, maybe he'd be number 1. Maybe in a couple of years, be number 1. But I feel like he just needs to be more consistent for longer before I can put him at number 1. And number 2, number 1, this is the hardest pick for me, and I'll explain why I have each picks. So I literally changed this. You could change these guys either way, but for me, I changed them so many times that I eventually settled on this. At number 2, the Florida Panthers, I have Sergei Bobrovsky, and I feel Sergei Bobrovsky over the past couple of years he's been more consistent, and he's been more successful than the guy I have at number 1. But number 1 has had a better career overall. Apologies for my dogs; are going a little ballistic right now. Anyways, at number 1 of the Montreal Canadiens, I have Carey Price. I'm not saying he necessarily has the best numbers or whatever, but I think over his career and his impact on his team and how important he is to the team, I believe he is the greatest goalie in the NHL. A couple of years ago, you saw that how Montreal Canadiens pretty much collapsed when Carey Price got injured, and that just goes to show how important a goaltender is to your team. And when you're the best goalie in the world, who I still think he is, but maybe in a couple of years it will change. Maybe Bobrovsky will step up or maybe even Vasilevskiy will step up. But like, when I looked at number 1, I guess his tenure and how long he's been consistent kind of affected my choice, because Bobrovsky's been really good for a couple of years, but before that, when he played for when he first started out, he really wasn't that great. When he was just signed by Philadelphia, he was not that great in my opinion. And yeah, it's just I put Carey Price above Bobrovsky today. Maybe tomorrow I'll put Bobrovsky above Price right now. But like, that's my list. Smash the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Show this video to your friends. That's it. Peace.